Hi everyone, welcome. I am in a new setup for this video. This is not my permanent setup, but I needed a bigger kind of screen area for this one. This is my beginner paint by number, I'm going to call it, class, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. Side note, I am not a professional. These are things I have learned along the way, what works best for me, and just some tips and tricks I've learned. But by all means, everyone does things different. Everyone likes different things. So you will have to just kind of learn what works for you. So to start off with, I'm going to just kind of talk to you about the paints. Paints come in these little tubs. They're all very similar. These are Hobby Lobby, which I really like because they have the numbers on them. And I will kind of show you how that correlates to the canvas when we get that far. But if you open your paint and it is not runny, it is chunky or rubbery, 1 minute, I'm trying to decline that. If it is chunky or rubbery, it is no good. You can do your best to get color acrylic paint and match it if you would like, or watercolor, whatever you may be painting. But if it is rubbery, it's just not going to work for what you need it to. So you want wet, consistent acrylic paint for these. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the canvas they come on. So there are tons of types of canvas, and it really depends on what you're looking for. This one I have is a cloth canvas, and it works great. The paint does not crack like you think it would. It goes on smooth. It covers the numbers really well. So I do like this. As you can see, I've kind of got the borders a little dirty. So I might have to paint a different color around that just to kind of hide my mistakes there. But for my first time using this type of canvas, it's not bad. I do like it. And this was an Amazon purchase. So you do have to read the descriptions really well to make sure you're getting what you're wanting. So the next type of canvas you can get is like the board type canvas, which are these heavy, my paintbrush is still on here, but they're the heavy board. So this is one I have started. This is a Hobby Lobby one, and I just wanted to kind of show you one I've started because sometimes if you're a beginner, the first time you see a blank paint by number canvas, they can look a little overwhelming. They look a little bit like George Tufex's color by numbers, how they have tiny numbers and tons of them. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of once they're painted, how they kind of come together. And I have a long way to go, but I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. So that's a board canvas. The next thing will be sizes. So of course you can get a large, you can get a medium, you can get small ones. And of course I stocked up on Hobby Lobby, is why I have so many versions of these. And you will see how the paints are a little bit different in these ones. They don't have the same, I like these ones with the stand because they're a little bit harder to tip over. So here in a minute, after I show you a few of them, I will open one of these and kind of show you the difference in things. But I have just a few more different types I kind of want to show you. If I miss anything in this, go ahead and leave questions, comments down below. If I need to do another video, I can. I am probably not the greatest teacher, but I do feel it is helpful to kind of start at the very basics. This one is a Hobby Lobby. This is Paintworks. These ones say frame not included. So if you are looking for this wooden frame to go around your finished piece, you do have to be very careful. So like these ones are also Hobby Lobby, but when you read it, it includes unicorn canvas and solid wood frame, premium acrylic paints, and you get one set. And it'll show you on the back all the colors and everything you get, what it looks like blank. So you get an artist cloth. That means it is going to be this type of canvas. Oh, I'm throwing stuff everywhere at this. But let's double peek and make sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it means, but I guess I should, yes. So an artist cloth is going to mean that you are getting this, a cloth type not a board. So these ones say paint by number. We're going to flip it over. These ones have names on them. So this one is Paris. I just seen it. Paris Flower Shop. It gives you dry brushing, specific instructions, stipling, pointilage, all kinds of cool things with these bigger sets. I really, really like these bigger sets. So when we open it, your paints will come like this. And the really neat thing, I'm not going to open these paints because I don't want to mix. Oh my goodness, if I mixed my paints up. But I'll show you with these already opened ones. These, they're in order, but if you want to take them apart, like if this color and this color made letter O, you could hook them together. And then that way you would remember what colors go to what. So you can put them in a circle, you can hook them all together if you don't want them to get lost. And I really like these. Like I said, they have the nice triangle base to keep them from tipping, so they're a lot harder to tip. So that is really great. So those are the paints. Okay, now we will reveal the canvas. So this is what the flower shop in Paris is going to look like. Very daunting, lots of little numbers, but once you get started, it is not so bad. I'm going to set that out of the way. Now, the only thing I don't like is this is the same as the other one, is they tape the instructions on the inside of the box, and I ripped them getting them out last time. So these instructions you want to keep. I know they look like a lot, but they are helpful. So it gives you a diagram in case you like accidentally paint over a number. You can come back to this diagram, and it will have the numbers on it for you. Okay. On the side, you also have, these are your pot colors. So these are what's numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are the first number on your pots. And these are called your pots. First number on your pots. Down here, it says mixed colors. So if you have letter A on here, like right here is the letter A, you would mix number 1 and number 3. So I'd mix this white and this red, and I would get pink for letter A. So that is how that works. Now, that is for this set. Every brand kind of has their own way of doing things, but they are similar if you know what you're looking for. I feel like this video is a lot of talk and not a lot of show. Hopefully I am not boring you. Sorry about the crinkly paper noise. You'll have to bear with me a little. I have to put these sets back together as I pull them out, because if I mix up my pieces, I will have a horrible time. Trying to get everything back together and figuring out what went to what set. I probably should have put my board in first. Okay. And now I'm going to set my paint in. So I will show you a couple other of these canvases I got. So I have this one. Some of them will say recommended brush size, this. For me, I go by comfort. I go by what brush is going to work for me to get in those little spots comfortably without covering all the other numbers, because they are tiny. So this one, instructions in English, acrylic paint, 14 by 20, frame not included, very important. These ones also have great directions about how they have gone in and added some dots to add details and things like that, and it will tell you in the directions how to do it. Same thing on the back side, paintworkcrafts.com. I have not visited their website to know how anything is, but they each have their own little set of instructions. I was looking to see, this one on the outside kind of doesn't say what kind of canvas you're getting, which is why I kind of don't like buying them online. They're hard to tell. Larg cabin porch. Everything you need included. So these were a great deal. They were like $4.99. I think my smaller ones were like $1.50, so I really stocked up at Hobby Lobby. Here's a great one for summer. Might be a next summer project. I don't know if I'll get to it this summer. I really should. It's so cute. But this one is a different brand. So frame not included, fast drying acrylic paint, water-based, non-toxic. Gives you a little bit about the artist. Root Beer Break at the Butterfields. This one's a 20 by 16. So just kind of showing you how the different brands kind of do things. So we're going to flip it over. And the back of this one looks very different. So here's your mixed color charts, 3, 3, and 7 makes V. And here's your colors that come with it. To use the paint pots, it just tells you kind of unwrap the paint pots, lift the lid, stir the paint. If you need to thin your paint down, only use a dot of water. It is much easier to add more water than it is to take the water out if you add too much. So that's important. This one does say paint board, so this one will be a board, not a cloth. To add more details and depth, you may add thicker lines or more accents, and you can use the box for reference. So what you kind of do is you follow the numbers, and then when you get it all done, like on this one here, when I get my house done and get all the details in, I'll probably go back over these bricks and add a little shadowing around them. But you don't want to add your final touches till you got your basics down. Same with coloring. You don't want to add your shadows before you have anything else colored, or it just kind of looks silly. So this will be what my canvas looks like when I pull it out. And that is that. So I have one more. And that's this one, and it's just like the unicorn one I showed you, but I'm going to go over it again. So it is a paint by number. These are Artscapes. I got mine at Hobby Lobby. This was not the price. They are having a 50% off sale if you have a Hobby Lobby near you. 24 acrylic paints, 16 by 20, and solid wood frame. So this one will come with the frame, or at least the top and the bottom. It's not an actual frame, but I really liked this rainbow rose. If you followed me at all, you'll know I am a fanatic on rainbows, so this rose just had to happen. So it shows you, I will get closer, what it looks like uncolored. Has the color charts. It gives you a swatch if you want to do it that way. And here's what included: pre-printed artist cloth. So those are your difference. It's artist board or artist cloth. I really like buying these in person, but if you do Amazon, just make sure you're reading your descriptions. 2 paintbrushes, 1 set unassembled wood frame, and an instruction guide. So there is that. So that is kind of the basics of what you're looking for, the paintbrushes you use, how do you know if your paints are good, a little bit of terminology, mixing. So I'm going to pause this video right here for just a minute. I'm going to set up a board, some paint, some water, some brushes, and I will talk a little bit about brushes and kind of show you the difference. And we'll do some painting. See you in a minute. All right, so welcome back. If you're still with me, I thank you for sticking with me through this. The next thing I'm going to do is just kind of show you how I do it. I will tell you a couple tips about paint by numbers. Some I don't necessarily follow. Acrylic paints can be diluted with water so that they go easier off the brush. You can see right here I struggled a little bit. I probably should have added a little more water. But it's fixable. We went over the how you match the letters. You always want to rinse your brush. You don't want to mix colors. Obviously, if you're mixing colors, you want to do it on a plate or a palette, something your acrylic paint won't soak into, but you don't want to, you know, mix your red when you're doing the sky and get a streak or anything like that. Do not allow your acrylic paint to dry on your brush. That's kind of a given. It will ruin your brush. It will make it hard and rubbery. You won't be able to use it anymore. And then we usually go top to bottom so that you don't smear your wet paint. Now I don't really get to sit and paint all that long at one time. If I were doing it in like large sections, I would worry about it. But between kids and whatnot, I usually, you know, I get to do like the house, and then I'll take a break, work on something else, dinner, something. Then I'll come back, did the sky, let it dry overnight, came back, played with some green. So I don't really have that problem just because I don't get to work on it all that long. The next thing I want to show you is brushes. This is where your own preference are going to come into play. So there are rounded brushes, if you are into that kind of thing, or flat brushes, which I kind of prefer. You want to make sure you're not stabbing your brushes down, as that will fray your bristles, and then when you paint it will go everywhere. So we will get started. I tried to pull you in close. I'm going to pull you a little more. Sorry if that makes anybody sick. And I think we will start. Let's go right in with 16. So I'm going to look at my paints and I'm going to pull my 16. I leave mine all hooked together, but I do not set them on my painting to open, to close, or to paint. I am clumsy. If my cat comes sliding across this table, if my daughter comes across, that's just an accident waiting to happen. So I am a lefty, so I'm going to set them over to the side. I will shake them up a little, and I will open the top. I will look at the size of the holes, and 16 is pretty large. This is water, so going outside the line isn't going to matter a whole lot because it's going to blend anyway. Hopefully, that's the plan. I'm going to get my paintbrush a little bit wet in just some regular tap water. Make sure there's no color left in it, which it's coming out a little red. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that red is out. I don't want red in my water. Okay, and then we're going to take 16. And we're just going to start. Now, if it does not cover your number or letter the first time you go over it, like right here, you can almost still see a little. There's a couple here. Just leave it. And then once you get everything down and you're going back over, you can add another layer to cover it. But you want to make sure that you have everything that needs to be that color painted, so that once you cover it, you know what letter it was. So it's going to end there. So I will go back and make this look nicer, just kind of painting the outline of it so I know my spot. So it's going to go over here. Make sure I'm on camera here. I probably got my hand covering it. It's kind of, when you do paint by numbers, find it helpful to hold your brush up and down instead of like this. Just trying to avoid covering some of the other numbers. So that's 16 as well. So we can go ahead and cover that. Got a little on the end, but that's okay. Like I said, it's water, so it's supposed to have that sideways blendy look. It's not supposed to be perfectly chopped. So I'm just going to keep going with it here. You know, this isn't the most exciting part, but because it is a requested video, someone did ask for a paint by number beginner, so I kind of thought I would show just kind of how I start it. If you feel like your brush is getting dry, your paint isn't wanting to flow off as well, you can dip your brush in the water. Alright, I think this right here was all supposed to be gray. Whoa! Alright, that's supposed to be, so leaving a little kind of fuzzy edge like I do coloring, just so they can blend. That's how I did my sky. Like I said, kind of whatever works for you. So I'm going to do a couple more 16s and then I will jump to another one just to kind of show you how it works. Sorry about the noise in the background. My son didn't know I was recording. It's coming in really loud, whatever he's watching or playing. Can you ask them to go turn that down, sis, please? Go ask them to turn that down. All right. here's a 16, here's a 16. This part of the water is going to reflect the trees up here. That is why this part is dark. The rest will be light. So just knowing that from coloring. Okay. I know all my 16s will be right in this area. Sorry about the motorcycle outside. Some noises can't be avoided. 1 second. Okay, sorry. I had to get him to shut that noise off. It was so loud, and I don't know how loud it was coming over the camera. So 16, 16. A cool trick I will, you can do this guy, you'll notice, let's see, let's back up a little. You'll notice I got a little sloppy right here. These are greens that I'm gonna just pat over anyway to give them the real leafy effect like I did on the other side. So it's not gonna really matter how perfect that comes out because the green will go right over. So you don't really have to worry about being too perfect with acrylic paints because they cover really well. Almost any mistake you make can be covered. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to stay in the lines a little bit, but if you happen to get a little wild or somebody else gets a hold of your paintbrush or you grab the wrong color and the wrong number, fixable. Just make sure you let the bottom layer dry before you put a layer over it, otherwise you'll just mix colors. Okay, I'm gonna go in right here. 16. I know some people like to do all of one number. I kind of get bored doing all of one color at one time, so I am a bouncer. But again, personal preference. Some people have OCD, organization is their thing. I strive to be that someday, organized. But so far, I am one of the chaotic artist type people. I am one that likes to get my hands all up in it. 10,000 different paint brushes. Let's try this and this. Ooh, what happens if we mix this kind of thing? So, for the most part, I don't go too rogue on paint by numbers, but if I don't like it, I will fix it to meet my standards, that's for sure. Okay, so I think I got most of the 16s. If not, we will come back and fill them in. So I'm going to rinse my brush, make sure it's nice and dry and that gray no longer comes out of it. I need a plate. 1 second. Okay, you're going to want a plate or a paint palette, something plastic. You don't want to use like newspaper or napkins because your paint will soak into it and it'll eat more of your paint than you get to use, and nobody likes that. And that's for mixing colors, I guess I should say. I gotta grab my color chart that might possibly be missing. Stay away from there. It's still on. Forgot to bring my paint chart with me. Okay, so these are the papers that came inside, just like I showed you on the other one. I am looking for letter N. So I'm going to go right here. And N is 9 plus 15. So when you mix like this, because it has 1 9 and 1 15, you want to mix equal parts. If it was 9 9 plus 15, I would want twice as much 9 as I put in 15. There might be specific directions that you will have to read. Quit that, please. In your own little box. Like I said, every set is different, depends on where you buy them. So my 15 is going to be this color. 4, 5, 6. I am missing a paint that got knocked off the table. 14, 16, 17, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 15. 1 second. Okay, 9 and 15. So here we go. That's why we don't open it on our paintings, because a little popped out, it would have got my painting. So I'm just going to do a little brush, 15, because we can always add more, but you can't take out. I'm going to use a clean brush just to scoop out some of number 9, because I don't want the 15 in there. Okay, then we're going to mix. Try to get as much gray in there as we... Alright, my daughter is insisting that she must play at the table right now because I'm trying to do a video. We have the whole house. I just bought a new airplane, LOL airplane for her, and we must sit at the table. Okay, so this is letter N. Always remember, and you can always write on your plate too if you want to remember what color. Just mark it, and then that way when you come back you'll be like, oh, I ran into it and I forgot. This is the color I need to match. This is what I used on my other. So that is helpful. Okay. See, and it just goes right over the top of that gray. We want very streaky like water. So right over the top. And the green of this grass will go over the top of this blue. If I get it on the grass a little bit, it's not a big deal. The cool thing about paint by numbers, you really don't have to worry about precision. And I think that's why I like them. They still come out gorgeous, but you don't have to stress so much on all the little details. So here's some more in. Like I said, if your paintbrush starts getting dry, tiny dot of water. And see, it'll just make it that much kind of runnier. I personally will probably go back and blend this a little better once I get everything filled in the colors they're supposed to be. Just to give it a more kind of flowy feel. But that's how I did my sky. I just put in the numbers they asked for and then I went back and blended it. So. Okay, there's an N up here. The shadow areas, you will have to look at your legend. But in my case, my shadow areas are black. So I will go back and either use a Prismacolor black and color them, or I will paint them in black at the end. I do not want to do black now because if I touch it with any other color, that black will smear and muddy it up. So that will be an end type project. Okay. So we're going to do these ends over here. Hopefully I'm still on camera. I got to turn it a little. Okay, there's a little end right here. And right there. You okay? Yeah. Okay. What was that? Oh, a sneeze? That sounded silly. Okay. Whoa, got a little wild there. That's alright. Alright, so my video chopped off a little there. I forget at the 30-minute mark my video turns off. So I'm not sure where I left off with you. But I am going to end this video because I know this is a little bit tedious and not the most fun thing to watch.
I hope this video helped you in some way. I know not everyone is into paint by numbers, but it's always fun to try something new. You never know. I am still big into coloring, but every once in a while it is fun to paint. It's fun to get the paint out. These do kind of help you learn techniques and color combinations though, like that sky. I always wanted to go yellow to blue on a sky, so there are techniques and knowledge that can be intertwined between the two concepts. So I thank you for watching. I thank you to Miss Heather, who commented on my other video and was like, heck yes, I want to see this. A beginner video would be great. I hope I answered some questions. My biggest suggestion is to jump in and try it. And there are age limit, or not age limits, but you know, suggestions 8 and up, 12 and up, advanced, adult. Pick what you like and try it. That's what I do. I mean, if it says 8-year-old and I like it, I'm going for it. I'm going to paint some kitties and unicorns. If it's one of these more fancier ones, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to be Picasso. So it's really up to you. It's your art. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you had fun. So with that, I am going to leave you. Questions, comments down below. Anything else you would like to see, videos, ideas, anything like that, please let me know. It helps me create content. Give me ideas. I know I don't do a lot of hauls and things like that, so I leave that to the other ladies mostly. But thanks for watching. Have a great night and see you next video.